Russia-Ukraine News Kherson has lost 1 life and 6 injuries due to shelling. According to Regional Governor Alexander Prokudin, at least 1 person was killed and 6 were injured, including 2 children, as a result of Russian shelling of the Kherson region in southern Ukraine overnight. Ukraine's capital claims that Russia has launched 89 airstrikes and 10 missiles at the country today alone. Russia and Ukraine are increasingly employing S-300 missiles in their conflict. Reports indicate that S-300 missiles are being used more frequently in the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. During the height of the civil war in Syria, Russia had also deployed the S-300 surface-to-air missile defense system to its ally Syria. The former Soviet Union's missile is still considered to be among the most effective missile systems in use today. Each missile can cost as much as $1 million to launch, according to Air and Space Forces magazine. U.S. aid to Ukraine has been cut off, but how much has already been sent? Military aid for the conflict-torn country is in doubt after the U.S. Congress axed new funding for Ukraine in the face of opposition from conservative Republicans. Washington's backing of Kyiv's war efforts has been crucial. Since Russia's military offensive began in February 2022, the United States has reportedly invested nearly $44 billion in security assistance, according to the State Department's September report. In Kharkiv, there were no reported casualties. According to the governor of the Kharkiv region in Ukraine, nobody has been hurt in the recent Russian attacks. He claimed that over the course of the previous day, at least 5 Russian S-300 missiles had landed on the outskirts of Kharkiv. What do we know about the circumstances surrounding Prigozhin's death? The plane crash that took the lives of Prigozhin and 9 others on August 23 is still shrouded in mystery. A failed mutiny he led was considered the biggest challenge to Russian President Vladimir Putin's rule since the ex-KGB officer took power in 1999. And his death came just 2 months after the mutiny. The leader of Wagner's group had earned a reputation as a brutal and ruthless individual after releasing a series of videos in which he sarcastically berated the heads of Russia's armed forces. Putin called Prigozhin a traitor at first because his mutiny threatened to plunge Russia into civil war, but he eventually struck a deal with him to defuse the situation. The Kremlin stated a week after the crash that they were looking into the possibility that the private jet had been intentionally shot down. Russia has caused 1 death and 6 injuries as a result of shelling in the Ukrainian city of Kherson. Earlier on Monday, the governor of the Kherson region in southern Ukraine used the messaging app Telegram to report that Russian shelling had killed at least 1 person and injured 6 others, including 2 children. At least 71 attacks, aimed at the residential districts, as well as shops and medical infrastructure, were reported by Alexander Prokudin in the past 24 hours. Prokudin noted that at least 20 of the aerial and ground assaults were directed at Kherson itself. Prigozhin, leader of the mercenaries, has been hailed as a hero by the mourners. Moscow and other Russian cities have seen large turnouts of mourners for the funeral of Wagner's chief Yevgeny Prigozhin, who died in a plane crash 40 days ago. On the 40th day after death, according to Orthodox Christian belief, a person's soul leaves their body and travels to either heaven or hell. Images of soldiers and civilians paying their respects at memorials were shared on Wagner's recruitment arm on the Telegram app.